All right, hi everybody. We are now going to talk about inserting pictures in Word, and we'll find later in this course that you can insert all sorts of things in Word, but this picture one is pretty cool. Back when I was in school, Word didn't have near as many capabilities for working with pictures as it does now, and you used to have to buy Photoshop or something like some expensive software to edit your pictures, and they had to be perfect before they got into Word. But nowadays you can take pictures and do all sorts of editing right in Word. So what I want you to do is I've got this item in Blackboard, and I've got a lorem ipsum doc. That's just a document with some gibberish in it. Let's go ahead and download that. We'll actually save it. And then the other file that I want you to download is the zip file. So remember zip files back from week 1. Go ahead and click on that to save it. And then I'm going to go over to my download directory. So I'll open up Windows Explorer here, and then go to my downloads directory, and here's my zip file. I'll just go ahead and right click on that and extract everything. So once that extracts, you'll see I've got 3 pictures of dogs here, and we'll be using these in this assignment, or this demo I guess. And then I'm going to go ahead and double click on that lorem ipsum document to open it up. So it just got some gibberish in it. Okay, let's get started here. So let's say I want to insert a picture in Word. I want to insert it right at the beginning of the second paragraph here. I go to the Insert tab, and there's this Illustrations group, and I can click on Pictures, and I can navigate to my zip file, or the extracted zip file, I guess, in my downloads. That's dog pictures here. So here are my 3 dogs, and I can choose insert like this, or I got to pick one first and then do insert, and that puts my dog picture there. Let me just undo that, and I'll show you that you can also drag and drop pictures in here too. So here I'm looking at my dog pictures in Windows Explorer. So if I want to, I can just simply drag and then drop the picture anywhere I want it in my Word document. So that's kind of handy. Alright, so here's all these cool editing features that we used to not have in Word. Like I said, we used to have to make sure our pictures were perfect before we even got them into Word. I'm going to go ahead and click on this picture to select it, and I can resize it if I want. I'm going to make it real small, like about that small. So just by putting the cursor over a corner and then using the mouse to press and drag, I can resize it. You'll see I do get this tab here for that appears in the ribbon if I have a picture selected. So I can actually crop this picture too. So I'm going to click on that Format tab, and over here is the crop button. So I click on that. What's going on here? Alright, for some weird reason my crop doesn't seem to be working here. Usually there's a drop down list that appears here, but just like everything else in Microsoft Office, there's alternate ways to do things. So what I can do is right click on my picture and choose crop, and I can crop my picture. Let's see, we want to Alright, I just got done fumbling around a little bit, and I couldn't figure out why I couldn't crop my picture in Word, and I did some research on the internet and found out what I think is the problem here is because of the way I inserted it. So this is something I never knew. I guess if you do that, the last way I inserted the picture was I just dragged and dropped it from Windows Explorer into my Word document. Apparently that causes problems. So what I'm going to do is start over again. I didn't know this. This is all new to me. I want to put my picture here, and I'm going to, instead of dragging and dropping, I'm just going to use the Insert tab and then the Picture button, and then I'll insert it through this method rather than just dragging and dropping. Okay, so that's a little bit better, or I think we'll see here. So I can resize the image like I showed you, and now over here, here's the crop button. Now I wasn't seeing these options before for some strange reason like I was expecting to, but if I choose crop and then this crop it from the drop down list, now I get these bars and I can crop my image. Okay, so once I hit enter, it will do the cropping for me. So I got my image resized. Now the other thing I want to show you is if you select an image, you should see this little button right here, and this gives you your layout options. I want the text to flow around my picture. So now there's a lot of choices here. I think this is the one I want, so that'll make my text flow around my image. There's other things I could do too. You can play around with these. Like look at this one, it puts it behind my paragraph, and that's not what I want, but you might in some cases. So I'm just going to go with this one here. All right, now I can't show you all the choices you have here. There's just a ton of them for editing these pictures, so you'll just have to experiment. So again, I'm going to click off my picture, but once I click on it, you'll see that this extra tab appears in the ribbon, and these are my choices for editing. I can put a border on the picture, I choose the color, and I can change the width or the width of the border by choosing the weight down here. Okay, I've got all these picture effects. There's a whole bunch of them here. So, and the nice thing is you can get a preview of them, so you can see that just by hovering over these. I'm not clicking or anything, I'm just hovering, but it's showing me what that effect is going to have on my picture. So this is kind of fun to play with. You can kind of find some cool effects. A lot of them are just distracting, but here's one that softens the edges. Anyways, lots and lots of choices here. If I look over here in the adjust group, I can color correct my pictures. So there's all sorts of choices for correcting the brightness or the contrast. And there's other color adjustments I can make too, saturation and tone and recolor. Anyways, lots and lots of choices for editing your pictures. And then there's artistic effects here. So you can experiment with this stuff. But what I do want to point out is once you're done working on your pictures and editing them, there is one thing you'll want to do here, and that will be this compress pictures option. So once you get all your pictures edited and looking the way you want them to, you'll probably want to do this, and I'll explain what it is. So if I click on this, I'm just going to click OK and use the defaults. But now remember, we cropped this image, so we cut out a lot of the picture. But all that stuff that we're not seeing, that we cropped out, is actually still there in the file. So we'll want to do this compress pictures when we're done, because that will get rid of all the stuff that we edited out, like the cropping, and there's some other things too. So this will just kind of optimize our images, and that will help to keep our Word file size down, because the pictures won't be taking up so much space on the hard disk. So you'll want to do that when you're done. Two more things I need to show you is I'm going to insert a table here. So we did that in the last video. So I'm going to choose insert table from the insert tab, and I'll just make it a 2x2 table like this. And you can use tables to kind of format your pictures. So let's say I wanted to put a picture here and a picture over here, and then put captions underneath them. I can kind of use a table to control this. So I'm going to put my cursor in the first cell, go to insert, pictures, and then I'll put this picture in there. I'll just insert that. That's massively huge, so I'm going to resize it right away, make it real small, even smaller than that. What about that small? Then I'm going to put my cursor over here, and I'm going to insert the other picture. And that's too big, so I'll just resize that. Resize it even more. And then I could put captions here too. Okay, and then when I'm done, this doesn't look that great, but if I spend some time formatting, I could make it look a little bit better. But when I'm done, I'm going to turn the borders off on my table. So I'm going to right click on my table and choose border styles here. Let's see, I should see an option for none. Whoops, what did I do there? Having problems today. So I should see an option for no borders here. No borders. Let's see if that does it. Oh, that's just for the cell. All right, so let's try this again. I'm going to right click on the table. I'll do table properties. So like anything, there's a lot of different ways to do stuff. And then here's borders and shading. I have a feeling I'm probably losing some of you here, but here I can set the borders to none. If I do that and hit OK, then my borders disappear. And so I can kind of use a table to display my images. That's what I wanted to show you. Now there is another way to add a caption. I'm going to go back up to this other image, and I'm going to right click on it, and I can do insert caption here like this. So this is a dog, and it will put a caption right below my picture too. So depending on how you want your document to look, there's different ways of trying to get your pictures laid out, and you can use tables for formatting too. All right, one last thing, I promise. This is a really good thing to know about, but a lot of times we don't have pictures available to us, and we need to find some. So I'm going to pick a spot here and put my cursor right before a new paragraph, and I'm going to go to Insert, and then here there's online pictures that I can pull from the internet. So instead of doing pictures, I'll choose online pictures, and now I can do a search. So I'm going to search for dogs. So this is interesting. I can filter my search. I don't find this all that helpful, but I guess this is the image size, so I could just filter so that I only see small images, but this comes in handy. Type. So I could choose clip art. So maybe if I was working with a document that I needed some clip art for, I could do a search for just clip art. I can search by colors too, but I'll show you that we can color correct these in a little bit. And finally, right here, this last drop down right here is the licensing of these pictures. A lot of times if you use a picture from the internet, you're technically supposed to pay for it, or at least give credit for it. But what this filter is showing me is licensing that's freely available. So Creative Commons licensing means that you can use these pictures freely. So the nice thing is once I've got this set up here in my drop-down list, I know that all the pictures that I see to choose from are going to be free for me to use, and I shouldn't have to worry about paying for them. Or I could choose all here, and that would give me all the pictures that it finds on the internet, regardless of whether you have to pay for them or not. So good little trick to know. I'm going to go ahead and choose this picture of the dog here and insert it. And then I'm going to shrink it down real small like that. And I can go ahead and apply my color corrections to it if I want to here. So okay, I'm just going to leave it at that. This video is getting a little bit long. So I think that's plenty enough for you to get through your first assignment, and have fun with it.